The MD5 and SHA1 hash functions have been removed from the MySQL server binary as of 9.6. They now live in a separate legacy hashing component, which is only meant to keep legacy applications running temporarily. To keep legacy hash functions available, you must install a legacy hashing component on each server that might execute affected SQL. The component loads locally and is not replicated, so every node needs it. When replacing MD5 or SHA1, switch to the SHA2 family. It offers multiple digest sizes and is designed for modern security needs. Remember that SHA2 should not replace password hashing mechanisms. Choose the SHA2 digest size based on how sensitive the data is and how long you need to keep it. For most checksums, SHA256 works, while use larger sizes only when security requirements dictate. Generated columns cannot reference loadable functions like MD5 or SHA1. For upgrading, you must rewrite those expressions, either using SHA2 or moving the value into a regular column that your application updates. This example shows the exact syntax to replace an MD5 generated column with an SHA256 one. Note the use of unhex and the binary 32 type so the index size stays consistent. To locate legacy hash usage in generated columns, you can query information schema.columns with the regex that matches MD5 or SHA1 calls. Review the output before you start the upgrade. Legacy hash calls can be buried inside views. This query pulls any view that contains MD5 or SHA1 so you can refactor them before the upgrade. Legacy hash functions can appear in stored routines, triggers, and scheduled events. The combined query above scans each of those objects so you can replace them before the upgrade. When you enable the legacy hashing component, be aware that it only works on string inputs and will return null for MD5 when FIPS mode is active. Also remember that generated columns still reject these functions. Re-enabling MD5 or SHA1 can raise audit flags. In FIPS environments, the functions return null, so you must document why the legacy component is needed and plan its eventual removal to avoid compliance issues. Follow this checklist to avoid surprises during the 9.6 upgrade. First, find every legacy hash use, then rewrite generated columns, pick a digest size, install the component only as a temporary fix, test all recovery paths, and finally schedule removal. The key lesson is that MD5 and SHA1 must be replaced or removed. Generated columns need explicit updates, and the legacy component should never become a permanent dependency.